Happy New Year!
Yeah, whatever. Happy New Year.
It's another excuse to party, like I said. It's every holiday.
Yeah,
We don't know how many times we've been around the sun. We just started counting it at one point. We don't know when we are.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm going to wear these glasses the entire show.
The whole show?
I feel...
Woo!
Well, good for you that you got it to work.
First try. These are fun.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week. What have you been up to?
Well, after Christmas, I gotta take these off. I can't see. On the 28th, my dad got us all tickets to the Tampa Bay Lightning Montreal Canadiens game, which splits the room family-wise too on who we're rooting for. Because in my heart of hearts, I'm a Maple Leafs fan, Toronto. So therefore, I'm not a huge fan of Montreal. I live here, so I root for the home team, for the Lightning, and when they beat the Canadiens, it makes me feel so good.
Yeah, I could see you. You're a pretty big Lightning fan, to be honest. But
my brother's a Canadiens fan.
Wasn't it a packed house that day?
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Were you all masked up?
My sister and Matt wore masks, and I think my brother-in-law Lee at the end. My mom wore it while walking around, but when we were sitting together.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a different view. Yeah. We didn't shit on each other.
Nobody
was like, you should be wearing it. Don't be a bitch. Take it off. Nobody was doing anything like that.
Hey, I'm just asking. I just want to get a vibe of the room. I'm not talking shit. I'm just, then the names that you're telling me, I'm like, oh, makes sense. That's all. I'm just saying. It goes hand in hand.
Well, we got to see the Lightning win in overtime, 5-4 in spectacular fashion. So, of course, me and my dad were happy. Lexi's happy because I was wanting the Lightning to win. My mom had her Team Canada, the Olympic jersey, so she was going for Montreal. Ryan's obviously going for Montreal. My sister is a Montreal fan, so therefore Lee's going to, my brother-in-law's going to go ahead and do that.
We talked
naturally.
Yeah, we talked about going to a basketball game. We talked about football game. And then you recently said, we even got you want to take me to a Lightning. I'm just saying. I mean, I've been to a Lightning game before. It was years ago, but I will tell you, I've never been to a basketball game. I've been to a football game. I'd rather the hockey game was way a better experience.
So much fun. Fast-paced, hard-hitting.
Well, not just that. Raymond James, if you go in the afternoon, you're
baking in
the sun.
Yeah.
Because
you won't get hot in Amalie Arena.
Right. And because the way that it's open, the sun is literally beating on you the entire time. So,
giving you that D whether you want it or not, beating on you.
I'm just not a fan of Raymond James. Maybe just not a fan.
That's why you got to be hammered to be in that sun.
But
before the game, it's my dad likes to go to Chick-fil-A, so he was gracious enough, bought us all Chick-fil-A.
Delicious.
On his thing.
Delicious.
And Lexi, my girlfriend, as odd as she can be, especially sometimes about food, of course, gets the kids' meal. Gets the chicken nuggets with the little waffle fries on the side. We were joking, like, does it come with a toy? Because when my sister and I were kids...
Hold on.
What?
She's almost our age, and she's still getting...
She's not going to eat a whole bunch, so it's a smaller portion. She's smart.
Now, is she doing that because subconsciously she's like, oh, I don't want to get an expensive meal, so I'll get the cheapest thing possible?
I could see both happening. The fact that because she's not footing the bill, that she's not going to order something expensive. And I could also see, I'm not really going to eat that much, and I'm not going to be able to finish it. So let me just get a small... God. I could see either one. I didn't ask, but I could see either one.
Bro, let me tell you something, dude. I hear, if, someone's buying it, I'm not going to get the most expensive thing. Right. But I'm not going to go to a kid's meal. I haven't had a kid's meal since I was 5. Yeah. So, what? I'm just going to suffer and hunger?
Chicken nuggies and choco milk.
Oh,
That's
my.
It. Chucky milk, excuse me.
Yes, you know.
But of course, yeah, we ripped on her for, oh, does it come with a toy? And it made me think back to when my sister and I were kids, because every Friday you're allowed to get fast food. That was the deal. So Friday was an exciting day, but alternating weeks, either she got to pick or I got to pick. And that was the battle of her picking McDonald's and me picking Burger King. And sometimes I flip-flop because who gives a better toy at this time? They would always advertise the toys in the kids' meal.
I don't know about you, but Wendy's was always the shit. I'm just saying.
Wendy's was good.
No, Wendy's is still good.
Wendy's is still good.
Wendy's is still good over Burger King and McDonald's.
But it didn't come with a toy at Chick-fil-A. It came with this. Table topics for kids. Now, we're not going to do them all, but I did read a few of them. And I'm kind of interested what you might think.
What the fuck is this?
Well, when is the best time to give someone a compliment?
When they're sad.
Oh, that's nice.
What was the answer?
There is no answer. I'm just asking you what you think.
Oh, you're just asking
I think the best
me?
time to give someone a compliment is when they're sitting on the bowl, taking a shit, Bro, fucking get it.
So what is... Oh.
Send it!
Sorry, all right, you're just pretending like you don't know me? You're just asking me fucking questions? Okay, whatever.
When would be a good time period to visit from the past?
Oh, shit. You know what? I think like the 1950s. Pretty chill. Maybe the 60s. I don't know if there was...
hang out at the...
I can't remember
the ice cream parlor before the sock hop.
Yeah, I can't remember when the Cold War was, but...
Forever.
Yeah, but... Because just the time back then was just simpler. Easy. That's just... Yeah. Yeah. What's this, like an Ask Me Anything type shit? The fuck?
Nah, just little ones for kids. When's the time you wished you had a robot for help?
When I was like 300 and plus pounds and it was hard for me to wipe my ass. That would have been a good investment.
This is my purpose.
I don't have short arms, but I don't have long ones either. So like it's a struggle. I'm better now at it, in case you were wondering.
When's a good time to be very quiet?
Always.
Oh, there you go.
Don't say shit to nobody.
When leaving the house, what do you always make sure you have with you?
My gun.
Hey, there you go. Welcome to Florida. When is a day a great day?
When you get some ass.
When you don't have to use your AK, bro.
No, when you get
when you get some ass. That is a great day.
I'm just saying, when you get some ass, sorry, I can't.
But these were fun. These were fun. So we got that, the game and everything like that, and of course we went out New Year's Eve, and I got to tell you, I'm really starting to feel my age on that. Like those memes floating around, like remember if you're 30 plus, make sure you take a nap, or you're not gonna make it to midnight. Like I took that personally.
So you went out New Year's?
We went hard, yeah.
Oh, okay. Would you go to like a beach bar?
Downtown Safety Harbor, actually, by the marina, Barfly.
Okay. Man, you get around. You drive around.
It's right over there. I had a few drinks there, and we're listening to live music, and there was something weird that happened too, because we had run into some people that we knew, and as we were in conversation with them, we turned around because our drinks are still at the bar where we had left them, and there's a couple that is getting louder and hollering at the bartenders and the waitstaff. And from eavesdropping on this conversation, because we're just sneaking in like, excuse us, like our drink here, and they didn't even look at us twice. And ultimately, I guess what ended up going down was they got caught trying to dine and dash by their waitress. And she was calling them on it, and they, I guess, were trying to save face in front of everybody because, of course, it caused a scene that we were unaware of because we were having a good time, and trying to just, a pathetic attempt to make amends, trying to tip, give them a tip or something, and they're just like, dude, we don't want. They handled it pretty well, because these two people were inebriated, and then they started getting rowdy, telling them to fuck off, and this is bullshit, and fuck you, and this. And he's like, dude, look, we already told you, you're done. You're out. I don't want your tip. You just go. Just go. Like, it's over. I don't understand why people they gotta press that. Oh, no, I'll give you money. Like, you were ready to dip out, dine and dash. Like, on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
After places like that. Like, we went downtown Safety Harbor first last year for New Year's Eve, and then I hung a hard right, and we went to downtown St. Pete, because that place was dead by 10 p.m. And now everything was up and open, and it's like they're actually gonna make, and you got the balls to do that? Try to skip out on your tab? Like, fuck you, man. But it has taken definitely a couple business days to recover for me. I'm fucking old now, man. I can't party like that no more. We were up till like 5 a.m.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got something for you. While you were out, Palm Harbor, out in the clubs, getting your thing, drinking, whatever, I was at home watching some TV. Okay? I got some shit to break down here. Okay?
It was a Friday night. It's amateur hour. Amateur night.
Yeah, I was, with the moms, having some food, vibing, chilling.
Yeah.
And the last 15 minutes, we went and clicked on one of the shows to, get the
like
watch
live
the
in
ball
Times
fly.
Square.
Right,
shit.
right,
Okay.
right.
How they do around the world.
Right.
Is pretty
so
cool.
we don't have cable. Okay. So we went on YouTube, and in YouTube they have a lot of live streams of, when you can see the fireworks go off and stuff like that, whether in New York and London, wherever. A couple things I noticed, and I just want to bring awareness, because, I know you were having way too much fun to really pay attention, and I'm sure the bars weren't, pointing this out.
We're too busy dancing.
First thing that I noticed is on one of the channels to see fireworks, North Korea had a firework display.
Were they fireworks or like failed attempts at nukes?
No. This was fireworks.
Okay.
The only color they used was red.
Naturally.
But just the fact that they were having a firework display, which they have never done in history.
Dude, they invented New Year's.
I'm just saying.
They invented.
Just think about it. I find that pretty odd. Right? Okay.
They're trying to be more hip with it. I don't know.
Just raising awareness. Another thing is they had some fucking girl play a song. She was singing, I believe it was the Beatles' Imagine song. That was popular
Lennon, yeah.
in the 80s. Not really a great patriotic or anything like that song. So, yeah, if you listen to the lyrics.
I mean, I've heard Imagine, and John Lennon was full of himself. I still love the Beatles, don't get me wrong. All of their solo work was decent, but missing. When you get the four of them together, that's why it was the Fab Four, that super group. Individually, they're all still decent, but it's nothing that I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, so that, I wasn't a fan of that. And then on the last part, and look, I'm not, whatever. We got people from all around the world, whatever. They were in New York, and, everyone's wearing masks and, all that great stuff.
It's New York.
A blonde lady, was white. She's white. She was talking to a lot of people, asking where they're from.
She's blind.
Blonde.
Oh, blonde.
And she might as well be blonde.
The blonde leading the blind.
And she just asked them where they're from and stuff like that. And then she's like, "All right, let's hear it for Venezuela. All right, let's hear it for Haiti. Let's hear it for Guatemala." Didn't say anything about America. Nothing at all. I'm just...
You're so butthurt about it.
I'm not...
Did you celebrate for America?
I'm just saying. Why we...
Because this is a nation of an entire different groups of people that came here from all over different areas. Like Bill Murray says in Stripes, we're Americans. We're mutts. Here's proof. His nose is cold. The unwashed masses.
I'm just going to leave it at that because if I say some further things...
Did they say anything about Canada?
No.
Okay, well,
no one talks about Canada.
Exactly.
Because who cares? But...
It's okay to say that.
Now, did you do, at any point when you got home or anything like that, or with Lexi, did you do any... or have any, like, New Year's resolutions?
Oh, resolutions.
Yeah. No, that's a given.
You gotta break in the new year, right?
Yeah.
No. Her and I both feel the same way about the idea of a New Year's resolution is that I don't need the calendar to tell me when I'm going to begin something. Unless it's, like, a financial thing or something like that. I mean, I could see that, but, like, I'm going to quit drinking.
Well,
it could happen at any time. There are plenty of bad habits that I had given up and plenty of positive things that I have started that had nothing to do with New Year's at all. Like, that's all on me all the time because think about gym owners. Everybody laughs about that. Gym owners for the next 2 months are just going to be... and then it settles back out because everybody quits.
Yeah, I mean, I think setting a resolution to yourself is like, you're already setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah. There's always next year.
Well, yeah, well, that's not the point. If you want, because what are resolutions? Basically goals, right?
Ultimately, yes.
And there's nothing wrong or bad with having goals.
No.
But you should start today.
I agree.
You shouldn't.
You don't need everyone else to tell.
Why do you have to wait until January 1st to start?
Yeah.
And then you have those dumb cliches of New Year, New Me, and all this other bullshit. But
New Year, same assholes.
listen, and everybody should have goals. But start today.
Right.
If you want to work out or lose weight, start today. Don't be like, well, I'll wait till 2022.
And it doesn't have to be anything huge. Begin
but
little things and get through it.
But even at a young age, I played along with, what's your New Year's resolution?
Mm-hmm.
But
we're all kind of conditioned
to do so.
We're just
all conditioned to do it,
Yeah.
But just like the last couple of years, I'm just like, no, it shouldn't matter. Set goals whenever you deem fit, like as soon as possible. You shouldn't have to wait till a specific date to be like, that's when I'm going to start.
I agree.
If you want a beach bod, start today. Don't wait until 3 months before summertime. Start today.
And for the people that do say New Year's resolutions, some that I do know that have followed through on them. I saw some stories of people, posting a bottle of sparkling apple juice or sparkling grape juice 1 year sober. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. We're proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself for that.
Pussy.
You are what you eat, buddy. And at the same time, like, if it can be a motivational thing for someone, I can see how it could be good for someone that struggles to take that first step. Some people, it gives them a reason to. For me, I'm not that person. I'm just like how you said it. Start now. Start when, you need to. And people are always worried about not being successful, I should say. You're not always going to be successful. You're going to fail. How do you become successful? Is you keep trying, right? The perseverance behind it. And that was a lesson that a lot of the times I threw right out the window in the younger years of just, fuck it. And I stopped trying because it got too hard. When I could have just been right here. And I'm like, this hill's too tall, but it's right there. And I just can't see it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go back down. And then you start all over again.
Yeah.
But in starting all over, you could set new goals and set new parameters and boundaries for yourself on how to achieve them. I don't have timelines for a lot of stuff. I feel like I follow through and set better good habits than giving up bad ones. I'm better at that. I'm better at starting something that's positive than I am at giving up something that's negative.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And I don't know when that's going to start or stop. I mean, I did play a lot more video games this year. So, and it's been fun playing with you.
You have...
I don't like Warzone, though.
You have, in general, as a person, I've seen tremendous growth in you. Mentally, you've been happier than you've been.
That's
you
true.
have been working harder. You've been,
Yeah, it's debatable.
more...
I've been balancing better. Okay, thank you. I'm my worst critic.
Yeah, you're just a happier overall person, and
I can agree with that.
And especially doing something like this, which is huge. I mean, I've never seen you get so excited over and so. But that
I get nervous too. There isn't even a live audience. The cat is here, and you, and I'm like, at first, I'm like, always like, ooh.
it's like
stage fright
just
for
you
what?
as a person in 2021. I've seen a tremendous growth in you, and I always tell you that I'm proud of you, and yeah, just continue on.
Thanks.
Just continue on.
And I'm not always going to be perfect at it, and I have to learn to live with that as well. That it's not always going to be perfect.
No one's perfect.
Right.
No one's perfect.
I have a difficult time with that.
What do you think? I'm perfect? No, I'm close.
Right.
But,
Yes.
I'm not perfect.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I just feel, again, like you setting up a New Year's resolution, like, you're A, making it a bigger deal than what it is, and B, just because you're you put pressure on it. You
gotta follow
you make
through.
Lists. You tell that.
Do you compare with someone you made the same resolution with?
No.
And then see how far they've gotten and how far you've gotten?
No, not
and
only
see they're
that.
doing better than you? Do you feel shittier? Do you give up?
Not only that, but you know all those bitches with the coworkers are always like chit chatting, like, oh, what's your New Year's resolutions? Oh, what's your New Year's resolution? And then they obviously
tell more people to fuck off.
They obviously see if sometimes you don't meet those certain resolutions, guess what? They all know that you're a failure. So.
They ain't wrong.
But listen,
they right though.
Even if you want to make resolutions, that's fine. But don't be going around posting it and sharing it. Keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself and focus on it. Because let's just say you don't do it.
It could fall apart real quick.
But
even if you gain everything, you could lose it all.
But even if you don't follow it, then you're just going to get that addition on top of you hating yourself because you didn't complete this or the other thing. Then you're going to have people that you shared your resolutions with pile on top of you.
Potentially.
Like I don't go around sharing my my investment ideas, or I don't know. That's probably not the same thing. That was a dumb example, but we're getting there. It's all right. So, one thing I kind of want to bring up, and I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about it. I mean, streamers, a lot of big-time streamers complain about it over the years, but this has been an interesting year with video games. And
it's been a snoozeville year with video games.
So
nothing's really been all that exciting.
So people make the argument that, with the whole COVID pandemic stuff, it's harder, they had to close down their offices and work from home and things of that nature. But, the year 2021, we're so advanced in technology and stuff I feel like that shouldn't be an issue. Like, they could still put stuff together. And not just that, but let's just say even those were the scenarios. Video games now they have due dates, they have shareholders, and all of that things, and they're just pumping out games. Recently, the past couple years, they're releasing games when they're unfinished. They have tons of bugs.
All the bugs. And then when they fix that bug, it's like that house in Fight Club off Paper Street. When you turned on one light, another light went out.
When we were younger, the game was complete.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'll get an update here and there, but the game was complete.
Like PS2 was already done.
360.
360.
I mean, how many Cyberpunk 2077? That was supposed to be a futuristic Grand Theft Auto. There was so many bugs in that. They still have, and they even pushed it back. Call of Duty, another great example. Black Ops Cold War is done, but there's still image issues with that. Vanguard is literally the worst Call of Duty game ever.
Just seeing the gameplay, I knew I didn't want it.
It's not finished. It's buggy. They lack content. And for all those big-time Call of Duty League gamers, Vanguard isn't having any tournaments until March.
They don't have that set up. It's unfinished, like you said. It's unfinished. And with Cold War, I agree with you of just the overused similarities. Because I felt, and I've told you that, like I felt like they just basically sold me Black Ops 2 again.
Yeah.
Like how many maps were throwback maps?
But that's been happening.
That was right.
That's
because
been
they got
happening
nothing
the
fresh.
last.
There's nothing because they're trying to.
No, their argument is because since there's a new younger generation of gamers, they haven't experienced those maps originally. So their explanation is we're going to throw that in there. Like sometimes when there was an MW2 map.
Right.
You never played it.
I never played it.
So that
when
was...
we played Hard Hat, I'm like, I like that new map. And you're like, bro, that's a remastered map.
Exactly.
Just reason, like...
Exactly. So, and on top of that, not only do you have to pay $60 for a game, then you got to buy the Battle Pass, and then you got to, if you want skins
DLC, map packs and guns.
No. Well, they don't do DLCs anymore.
No.
But here's the thing: if you're going to release an unfinished game, then make the game free. So at least you have, okay, it's a free game. They got,
or a trial,
and then you make your money off of the Battle Pass, and then get your fucking shit together. Get your games together. Honestly. Battlefield 2042.
Ryan said that didn't really work out
So
well.
horrible.
Yeah. He
So
regretted
horrible.
getting that.
Grand Theft Auto, the Definite Edition, there's even complaints on that with the graphics.
Oh,
with
how
the
they
bugs.
re-released GTA 3 and Vice City and San Andreas?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of a cool, remaster.
But they're charging you $40 for that. But again, it's not even worth the quality.
We know the game. Like, I'll just...
Not just that, but just the fact that we're having bugs from it still.
Right.
It just...
Like, I don't know how that works, but I agree with you in the sense of...
These
people are the professionals. Right, they're the professionals.
But it shouldn't be... Because it hasn't been... We were good on the PS2 360 days.
PS3 even.
PS3. And now all of a sudden, the past 3-4 years, we apparently don't know how to make a video game. We don't.
Remember Fall Guys?
Yeah.
Remember when we played that for a week? That was fun.
But look, I mean, even the simplest games, even Madden, isn't... They even have bugs and lack of content and just reskinned and... It's really disappointing. And I hate that because of, video games are becoming so big now and there's so many more, shareholders and things of that nature.
There's professional video game players.
To push this content out. And us as gamers, I feel, and a lot of, it's just...
You feel ripped off.
Not just ripped off, but just kind of bored of it. Like today, I deleted Cold War because I played it for a year. I've done everything I needed to do, and except for Nuketown, I don't play any of the other maps, and I'm really just getting a little bit bored of the game. So what I decided to do was, to go back and re-download Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, the game came out in 2016.
See, you might as well have the one that works.
But, and this is just, plays very smoothly, very basic. The maps are great. The graphics are good. There's no, like, map errors, anything like that. And, if I do want to play, the most recent Call of Duty, I would just play Warzone, but I just feel like Black Ops Cold War is just flaming out because they're done making content for it, because we got to, focus on Vanguard, which is doing great. And yeah, I mean, and still, even with Warzone, we're still having problems. So,
Yeah, I gave up on Warzone last year.
Yeah, but
it's garbage.
I think if you want to, play a Call of Duty, just look into Modern Warfare 2. Because you never played it.
No.
So it would be technically new for you.
New for me. And it works.
And it works, and it's basic. You can use any gun. And all you have is an attachment. One attachment.
Okay.
And then you can earn extra emblems, camos, just with credits when you play.
Oh, you know me, man. Stabbity, stab, stab, stab.
But I will say, really, the only not great, but the only good game that came out this year was Back 4 Blood. Now, that was a little rough.
You got me to get it, too?
That was
a learning curve.
That was a little rough in the beginning.
I was the biggest bitch about it. I wanted to throw it out the window into the lake. But
it is probably one of the...
Had patience.
We have fun playing it. We even got Ryan to play it with us. And it's a pretty well-made game.
I think Matt's going to get it for PC, bro. We're going to squad up.
Yeah, it's a long campaign.
And I never played Left 4 Dead, but I like this.
But
it's pretty interesting.
It's something new and different, so they magically were able to finish a game. And they're going to add more content soon. Mind-blowing. Big franchises cannot get these games together. No. And it's really disheartening, because I love video games. And
I used to. I feel like I don't as much anymore. And that's why I felt like, in this last year, like I said, I played more video games, like with you and with Ryan. It's like hanging out with the boys on a Saturday night. When you used to all get together and play, Super Smash Brothers or something in a room. Now we can all do it remotely, and it kind of had that vibe, so that was always nice. To end a hard day with you're not really with friends, but you're with friends.
Right. I mean, you still got people playing Apex, Fortnite that's been out for, 5-6 years? But look at how they do it. They're constantly doing events, updates, adding features.
Keep people there. Yeah, that's why it's lasted
and
this
the
long.
Game's free, and they just make their money off of battle passes,
extras,
skins.
And they make their money.
But for whatever reason, no other games can follow that mantra. They can't even finish anything. There's just constant bugs. Yeah. And it just blows my mind because, like I said, I mean, besides Back 4 Blood, Halo.
That did look clean. I watched
Halo
a few streamers that did look...
Yeah. Just a lot of streamers just really don't, because I don't know, because they're waiting for season 1 or something that. Where they've
that's when it's fresh and they want to put that content out.
Right. So it's a shame. I want to say I wish things will get better, but I don't think they will for games. I really don't.
Probably not.
Like, this was the first... I haven't felt like this, especially towards a Call of Duty game, until Infinity Warfare. And the only reason why I bought that is because it had Modern Warfare Remastered. But that was a game that I had no interest in.
No.
And I wanted to get Battlefield. See how that turned out.
Yeah.
So what else is there? What else is there?
Tetris. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Lawnmower Simulator. That's a game. Apparently, it's quite relaxing. So
I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back to the old.
Going back to the old schools.
Yep.
Well, considering other things that died, on their feet, or laying down. Who knows? I have a little in memoriam segment for some notables that we lost in 2021. Hank Aaron died 86 years old, the home run king of Major League Baseball, played for the Braves, 755 career home runs.
COVID?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know the causes of death for a lot of these. These all happened. These ones happened in January.
All right.
So we're going to go month by month to the end.
I think Delta was around, so we'll just say COVID.
We'll say that. Okay. Siegfried Fischbacher, 81. The guys Siegfried and Roy, the Lion guys. Or the Tiger guys, I should say. They do the Magic in Vegas.
Great.
Oh, my goodness. Larry King at 87. And Larry King Live. I mean, that dude died 20 years ago and nobody told him.
That's when CNN was a pretty legit news source back in the day. Just saying.
Well, then this might be a legit news source for you. In February, Rush Limbaugh died at 70. My dad used to listen to him every day.
He had lunch, a very unique voice.
Every day at lunch.
Very controversial, but a very smart man, though. Loved his cigars. I liked his
Loved opiates.
He had a good voice. A good, distinct voice.
He was on an episode of Family Guy, too, where he was at odds with Brian, which was kind of fun at the end.
So
he learned to poke fun at himself through the whole ordeal.
Yeah.
In March, you had Beverly Cleary at 104. She's a children's book author. Now, was it Tales of the Third Grade Nothing? And there was something about freckles. I never read any of her books, but I remember being in 4th grade and all the kids were reading those books, but I never really got big into that. But for a lot of people, that was a big name author for them growing up.
So you said 104?
104.
So, let me ask you something. At, what age do you just say, fuck it, I'm going wild,
Tomorrow. No.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that... I don't know, but then what? You got to be
65.
careful. But then you got to be careful if your heart explodes or something.
65 I might... I don't know. I haven't gotten there. Yeah, so I might feel differently when I get there.
You start... 104,
Can't play with Legos no more. 4 to 99.
I feel
Ages 4 to 99. After that, it's like you're a toddler again. You might choke on this. Don't. Get that away.
I feel like even if I was old and in a nursing home, which if I had kids, I hope they don't put me in a nursing home. But if I do, I still see myself playing video games. I really don't see myself getting rid of that.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of that in the future in nursing homes.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Retirement living communities. I'm sure there's still gonna there's gonna be a lot when this next generation gets there. They're all gonna have tattoos. They're all gonna be, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Fuck it, man. Money ain't real. It's going to be fun. We're going to be cool old people. It's going to be great.
Man.
Don't worry about it. In April, Prince Philip died at 99. He was the husband of Queen Elizabeth III.
Oh, great.
I know. I don't get the whole royal family bullshit
it's
because
stupid.
you don't do...
It's
not a monarchy anymore. Why are you so special? Because...
It's a money grab.
It's just dumb.
They have no power. They don't
Right. And the obsession over that whole royal wedding when that thing happened, I just couldn't understand it. I'm like, what do these fucking people do besides be rich and have nice things?
Well, so
what do they do?
It's like the Kardashians over here.
Exactly.
If you really think about it,
it's the same thing.
They just didn't give anybody a blowjob to get famous.
Oh,
okay.
That we know of.
Maybe in the 1800s. I don't know. Wasn't on video though.
No. Also in April, DMX died at the age of 50.
Oh. He was a rap legend.
Wasn't ready for that.
Very distinct voice.
No, for sure.
He came in aggressive. He was a legend. I won't put him in top rappers, top 5
but
or anything like
and
that.
And you're like, yeah.
But definitely maybe top 15.
That shit comes on when we're all like,
Right. So he's got classics. That was, he had a rough life. So, I'm sorry That's a big one.
Yeah. Bertie Madoff at 82, the architect of history's largest Ponzi scheme, finally got what was coming to him. And Michael Collins at the age of 90, he was the third man on the moon. How shitty does that gotta feel? Everybody remembers Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
Is he the second?
Right, was the second one.
Oh. Well, yeah. Okay, who was the 10th man on the moon? Like,
Exactly. I don't know. It's pretty amazing, but you'll never,
Who gives a shit?
In May, Spencer Silver, at the age of 80, he was the inventor of Post-it notes. You ever use Post-its? Man, you really look unamused.
No, I don't. No. I had to think for a minute. I'm sorry. I forgot we were in 2022.
Oh, yeah. You can just shoot a text now. I mean, but at that time...
Hey, you still tying notes to pigeons?
Hey, man, and you made a ton of money. We still call them Post-its.
You still have dukes, traveling on horse and buggy to deliver the great news?
Carrier pigeon.
Just saying.
Charles Grodin at 86. He was the star on Beethoven, The Heartbreak Kid, and was also in Midnight Run with Robert De Niro. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, we're going to watch that. That's a good buddy comedy.
Buddy's
going to like that.
So far.
You are De Niro and I'm Grodin for sure.
I don't want to be De Niro. But however, out of that list so far, I barely know anybody on that list.
It's not just for you.
I'm just saying.
People.
I'm just saying.
You'll know this one. Maybe not by the name at first, but then when I tell you. Eric Carle at 91, the author of The Very Hungry Caterpillar. You remember that book? Oh my... We're making resolutions. You are going to read The Very Hungry Caterpillar this year. We're reading it.
When did you read that?
As a child. And the angry ladybug. There was like a ladybug that kept going to bigger and bigger creatures. It goes, hey, you want to fight?
I was reading Dr. Seuss and Captain Underpants. I wasn't reading that stupid shit.
Okay. In June, Donald Rumsfeld, at the age of 88, the defense secretary during the Iraq War.
Ah, yeah.
There are known knowns and known unknowns and unknown unknowns, which is to say there are things that we know that we know. There are things that we know that we don't know. And there are things that we don't know that we don't know.
And here's what I do know. I don't really give a shit. So that's good.
You are fucking pissing me off. In July, Robert Downey Sr. at the age of 85.
Now, obviously, he's the father of Junior. But has he done anything?
He's a filmmaker, it said. I didn't really look too far into it because he's really not that special.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. is the one that's...
Yeah. Right. Moneymaker, yeah.
Biz Markie, the age of 57. Oh, baby, you got what I need. Come on, Will. You know who that is.
Yeah, I mean, I know the song. I didn't know that was his name. I'm just saying. If I go deaf, I'm suing you, just so you know.
Yeah, that's ringing right now.
Yeah, so good job.
Dusty Hill, at age 72, the bassist for ZZ Top.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big one when that happened.
Yeah.
In August, Bobby Bowden, at the age of 91, old FSU coach.
Yeah, man, Bobby Bowden.
He was up there, It's like people that you're like, oh my God, like Buck.
Yeah.
Tony Esposito, who was 78, was a Hall of Fame NHL goalie. Ed Asner at 91, Emmy-winning star of Luke Grant, and you would probably know him for being the crotchety old man in the movie Up, that Disney movie.
Didn't watch it.
Oh my God, good. It's good. You like it, even as a kid's movie. It's a good movie.
Not a fan of Disney.
You will cry at the beginning.
Not a fan of Disney, bud.
Also in August, Charlie Watts, the drummer of the Rolling Stones, died at the age of 80. How shitty does it have to feel knowing that Keith Richards lived longer than you? That's just...
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know that feeling.
Moving into September, Michael K. Williams, 54, the actor known for playing Omar in The Wire. I think it was a heroin overdose, some kind of drug overdose. That caused that one. That one was kind of out of the blue.
Yeah.
People weren't ready for.
Maybe it had COVID in it.
Maybe. Speaking of out of the blue, it was so him to not tell anyone that he had cancer, but Norm Macdonald at 61.
He wasn't, to me, I'm not trying to shit on this parade, but to me, he was an okay comedian. He was okay funny. He had a really distinct voice and personality. But, yeah, I mean, it still sucked. He was still young.
I like dry humor, so he always landed with me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he wasn't, you can get some
I get why it's
laughs
everybody.
from him,
It's not everybody's
but
cup of tea.
But, he's just not on that,
his sense
Dave
of humor
Chappelle
is quirky.
level, but,
I got you.
But still, it's he died way too young, so it's...
This is someone I didn't know about, but I think that's pretty cool. Penny Harrington, 79, the first woman head of a major police department. That's a big achievement there of someone that you lose.
Yay, cops.
In October, Neil Schur, at 74, this guy was the U.S. government's leading Nazi hunter. That's pretty badass.
I thought he was like the head of Sherbert or something.
No.
I don't know.
You might know the next one then. Colin Powell, at 84.
I mean, the name sounds familiar, but I don't...
He's a U.S. diplomat, national foreign security advisor during the Bush administration.
Oh, yeah, don't care. Not a fan.
In November, at Peter Buck, who was 90, was the co-founder of Subway sandwiches. Dead.
Yeah, probably because all that trauma from the Jared. He just couldn't live with himself anymore.
He just took it out. Dean Stockwell at 85. I didn't watch this show, but I know a lot of people that did. Was on Quantum Leap back in the day. I was more of a Twilight Zone kind of guy, but
Bet you were.
Quantum Leap. Sam Huff was 87, Hall of Fame Giants linebacker. And then we move on to December. Bob Dole at 98 was the last of the World War II generation to win a Republican nomination to run for president in 96, which of course was unsuccessful. Michael Nesmith was the guitarist of the Monkees, which you don't listen to. It was kind of like a Beatles. They had a little TV show. They were silly and everything like that, but I do like a lot of their songs. He was known as the Quiet One, the Quiet Monkey, but he died. Demaryius Thomas at 33, the Broncos.
Yeah.
That was way out of nowhere.
Now was he still playing or no?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
was he?
I don't know, because if he wasn't,
I would assume so.
Well, if he wasn't playing, because I know he wasn't on the Broncos.
Oh, he wasn't?
No,
okay.
He was on the Patriots, and then the Patriots traded him. So what I'm saying is, I don't know if he was on an active roster or not, but I don't know. Maybe
something was wrong.
He felt useless. I mean, still way too young. A lot of people have great things to say about him. They call him a great. I wouldn't go that far, but...
Oh, your popularity goes through the roof once you die.
Yeah, but...
Especially when it's sudden and shocking.
But, he died way too young. He still had a whole life to live. It's a shame.
Couple left here. Anne Rice was a Gothic novelist at the age of 80. A lot of, vampire-y books. And my sister was big into Anne Rice, huge author.
Yeah.
Harry Reid at 82, Democratic Senate leader. Used to be Pelosi's right-hand man kind of guy. He looked like the Keebler elf. He struck down a medical marijuana bill, and I was just flipped the table. I'm like, Harry, you fucking idiot. Well, he's gone now. Yeah. Sadly, too, this came out of nowhere, and I got the news on the way to the hockey game. John Madden, the legendary Raiders coach, the voice of the NFL, if you will. And think about it like this. You got MLB The Show, you got FIFA, whatever, you got NHL, whatever year it is, but then you have Madden when you come back together. It's not NFL 2021, it's Madden. That's how big this... And sadly, when I mentioned that he died to Lexi, she's like, the video game guy? And I was Like, you like football? How do you not know that? Like, yes, it was a video game, but...
It's, at least she knew. It
yes,
wasn't like she had no
goodness.
clue.
Right.
He had, a very unique voice, but it was a good voice. I grew up watching him on Sunday night with Al Michaels, which Al Michaels is still doing it. Yeah. But still, just his knowledge and just the way
that's
he
why you have the option to ask Madden.
Was awesome, and so that's a tough loss. But I mean, he was such a humble guy.
I wonder when the next time they're gonna have Frank Caliendo on there imitate him, or
I don't know if
they think that's in poor
taste.
I mean, Matt brought up.
He's still imitating.
I don't know. I feel like he.
But when he did
Madden
and John Gruden, or the funniest things, especially if you know football.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him do. Oh my God, his name is escaping
Stephen
me.
A. Smith. He's done one of those too, which is he calls himself Stephen B. Smith, and on ESPN, and he did a debate back and forth.
Oh shit!
With the John Gruden one, when John Gruden first became the Raiders head coach, he walked into the when they were having their meeting or whatever, and all the players are there. He dressed up as John Gruden, did the whole face and everything, and he was imitating John Gruden. It was hilarious. I'll have you watch it.
That's what I mean. I mean, who knows how he's going to approach that? Because and Matthew brought up Weird Al at the Christmas party, because when Kurt Cobain had died, Weird Al was set to do a show in Seattle, where they were based out of, and he had a song like instead of "It Smells Like Teen Spirit," it's called "It Smells Like Nirvana," and asked people like be in good taste or whatever, and then did it as to honor him, and everyone loved it. So who knows how that could go, but everybody's real hypersensitive about fucking everything, so it might not work out. And this came as a sudden shock. The last day of 2021, Betty fucking White.
That was a surprise.
Betty!
That was a surprise.
I think that's why we got so hammered and stay up so late. It was just for Betty White.
I mean, I'm not crying over it, but I wanted her to hit 100.
You know what's funny too? Because they put out like in People magazine.
She was a grinder, dude. They
were promoting her 100th birthday party and already released the magazines and everything.
Man.
January 17th, she would have turned. And someone did the math too that because of the length of her life, she's 99, and so she's lived through 24 leap years. So technically, she's 100 and like however many days old or what. Yeah, I know.
We don't play. No. But yeah, I wanted her to hit 100.
It's almost like she knew, and she was like, "I'm gonna wait until they release this magazine. Who's gonna laugh at the end?"
You know what? Here's what I think. I think that because everybody wanted to hit her 100, she wanted to go off with a big fuck you.
Right. That's what I mean. Just like
I'm calling it early.
Gotcha.
Calling it early, guys.
That's so Betty White.
Yeah. But when you're talking about John Madden, football comes into.
Oh yeah, did you see what happened today with AB?
That's kind of what I.
Was that the most? Okay, think about it like this.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Let's start with. I didn't watch the game, but you texted me and said, "Hey, did you see what happened with Antonio Brown?" So I had no clue. So first, tell me what was your initial, and then I'll tell you mine.
The Bucks were down double digits midway through the game to the New York Jets of all fucking teams. Bruce Arians, head coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks, benches Brown. Brown does not like that. Has his little hissy fit, takes his shoulder pads off, starts tossing his shit into the crowd. Here's my helmet. Then takes his undershirt off, takes his gloves off, throws them into the crowd, then starts doing like these little crow hop jumps in the end zone, in the middle of Right. They're all set up midfield, like playing it down, and he's all of a sudden, doing this to the crowd and then throwing up peace signs.
No refs
I'm
are
out,
stopping
and
him
then
or
just
anything?
goes right into the tunnel. And what I read today was rage quitting in the middle of a game when you're losing to a team that you should be beating is the most honest tribute to Madden I've seen. You know what I mean? Fuck this, I'm fucking done. He's done. And Arians at the post, he's no longer a buck. He's no longer a buck. I mean, how many chances? I mean, what was it, last year and a half ago? It looked like we were just watching someone's life unravel on national television. Then he gets in with the Bucks, lives with Tom Brady. Furthermore, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm pissed at him. Like, you made me look like a fool with these antics.
It sucks too because he has such a great talent, and it is a shame. The last person to really do this was Legarrette Blount. When he was with the Patriots, the running back, and
What
then he
happened
went.
there?
Well, he went to Pittsburgh, and then he was all getting high with Le'Veon Bell, and they made like a whole big stink about that. Well, for whatever reason, I think that they benched him for a game or something like that, and he just got on the tour bus and left while they're playing the game. And then, guess what? New England picked him up the next week after. I will tell you this. If there's a desperate team out there, they might just pick him up.
They just might. The Jets.
No, they ain't going to the playoffs. I'm talking
But the Bucks ended up winning, too, which is kind of like, dude, you're a fucking idiot,
But he was just having... I guess
having a breakdown.
He was just having a bad game, and then Bruce Arians subbed him out.
Yeah.
Because he only had 3 catches.
Fucking deal.
And then he just... I mean, that's one way to go.
It is one way to go.
I will tell you another quick, funny little story that comes to my mind is Buffalo a couple years ago when they were getting trampled by whatever team they were playing. Somebody threw a big pink dildo in the end zone, and you can see it while it's. You can look it up.
I was going to say,
YouTube.
man, I want to see this now.
I'll show you.
Okay.
And you could see it like flopping and then bouncing on the turf
So
in
it's
the
just
end
like,
zone.
whoa.
And the refs had to like get gloves. And,
Oh, right. You don't know what's on it,
they didn't
man.
know
It
what
could have
the
been
hell
used.
was.
Ah, shit.
Was yeah. So yeah, I mean, and really,
Smell it
Antonio
before you
Brown has been pretty good this year. I mean, and then with the whole, and this is how it started with the whole fake COVID card, vaccine.
Recently, that's why it's restarted with him. I
Right,
wouldn't
like
say
he
that
was
that's where
good.
it started.
No, but I'm just saying for this year because he was quiet most of the year.
There was an incident where, like, he went out to, like, wherever they were staying had, like, a security detail and a gate before he went in, and they wouldn't let one of the friends in for some reason, and he went down there, rips the fucking barrier down, calls the lady racist, and flips out, and she's just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, he's a fucking crazy person.
I got a quick question. Do you think this hurts his Hall of Fame credentials?
1,000%.
Yeah. Now,
He's an asshole.
Okay, but do you think that keeps him out forever, or he's just going to be like a late entry? Because
I think that keeps him out forever. Pete
remember,
Rose is still not in the MLB Hall of Fame, and the motherfucker bet on himself.
Right.
For me, that gets you in there twice.
But for NFL, when I think of receivers, Chris Carter had cocaine issues and teammate issues. He wasn't a first ballot, but he got in. T.O.
Well, then maybe
Terrell Owens was another one. Randy Moss at the end of his career.
All right, well, then when you throw those names... T.O., if you throw him out and that was good, then he probably still has grounds.
Right. I'm not saying that...
Not on character, but on the field, the numbers speak for themselves.
And eventually, that's what you get graded on.
Right.
But he's not going to
unless you're P. Rose.
He's not going to be a first ballot. I think he's going to have to wait a long time.
Maybe, yeah,
because
until
he does have
settles and
he does have the stats to go in.
then we'll see what happens there.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you think he's done?
He's done with the Bucks.
No, I'm just
I don't
saying
think
done.
anybody else would want to pick him up, but I mean, think of a deal they're gonna have to. I mean, look at how he's acting. This dude thinks he is worth his weight in gold. Like at this point, to just make a show like that and skip off the field, throw up the peace sign, take your fucking shit off, and go down the tunnel and say fuck you to the rest of your team and the entire city of Tampa Bay. Or area of Tampa Bay, city of Tampa.
I can't think of a good team for now. Now I could think of some teams that he would be great in, like New England, Green Bay.
Stay the fuck out of Green Bay. I want you.
You know,
We already got one
Cincinnati
prima donna up there throwing the ball.
I know, but I'm saying
Two big egos like that on an offense.
But realistically, that he would be good in. I mean, you could try New England, but I tell you what, if it don't work out there, then you're definitely not getting another shot.
Yeah.
Because look, New England's that powerful. I mean, they shut down Ocho Cinco's ego, and he had a big ego. So, I'm just saying, if they can't keep him in check, then they definitely
It's a lost cause, yeah.
So I don't know. I think if he wanted any chance to redeem himself, the only organization I can see is New England. Just to go there, play for a year.
That's true, because if he gets put on a shitty team and they start doing well, he's going to be like, it's all me, baby, it's all me. It's going to blow him up even more.
I don't think that.
I do.
I just
a personality like his, you don't think that.
No. No, because he wasn't on I think that if he's on a shitty team and they're playing shitty and they don't win anything.
Yeah, he'll do the same thing. He'll be like, oh, base.
Well, I mean, look, I don't think that he's going to be...
You could be on a playoff contender team.
He's not going to be pumped up...
Last year's Super Bowl champions.
He's not going to be pumped up to be a Detroit Lions fan. He's just not. And
nobody's pumped up to be a Detroit Lions
fan
or player.
I critiqued the Pittsburgh Steelers of releasing him a couple years ago. And
I see why.
Because, at the time they were pushing Juju
Schuster-Smith, yeah.
Yeah, and, he turned out to be a flop.
Yep.
But they saw it early. They saw issues early, and they couldn't handle it. So it sucks. I heard a Bucks fan while I was going to the store talking to another guy, yeah, thank God we got rid of AB. It's a shame because...
He took himself out.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just a shame because he was a top 2 receiver for quite a while. It was just him and Julio Jones dominating with DeAndre Hopkins, coming up. But, he's been a stud. And
guess what? You got a piece of shit attitude. No one's going to want to work with you.
Yeah.
But you better get a little humble, dude.
So, last thing I just want to bring up, because as we were talking about, how, especially like Antonio Brown had like a fake vaccine card and things of that. I just have some thoughts of just the year that we've had with COVID, and I know I touched on it on our episode Hypocrisy, but I'm just kind of looking at the whole year in review, and there's some things that caught my attention. For instance, how we're on Omicron, whatever it's called. It seems to me that we just forgot about the other variants. Like, they just disappeared, went away. Like, Delta just disappeared. Just
out of the media, yes, because like how we were talking about, like remember what was it? The Mu variant. And you're like, yeah, but that wasn't sexy enough. Like, this is the newest one, so the media's like on it like a bitch in heat. You know, they're just like, fuck yeah, give me that Omicron. And then guess what? It doesn't really affect the lungs as much. It's a more mild thing, and so they're like, oh, it's not as deadly.
Here's some problems.
They want that shit.
So, for
so
instance,
bad.
Florida here has been opened up for quite a while. Texas has to a degree. And you are seeing a lot of people from other states and countries coming to Florida. Like, I'm seeing it more and more because it's open. People don't like lockdowns and mandates and...
In their heart of hearts, I think at this point they do realize that this is something, it's an endemic. It's like how you brought up, you know, get your flu shot every year like that, which also then makes me wonder about the verbiage of calling it a vaccine, or do we just call it a COVID shot, like how we have a flu shot?
They have to. The thing is what, and some things that are odd to me is because they want so bad to keep using them for it's an emergency use. The only reason how they can do that is if there's no other options, there's no other medicines or cure for treatment, you know, for COVID.
Right.
Well, we're finding out more and more from other sources that it's possible. Now, obviously, if you have underlying conditions, and look, I'm not a doctor,
but, you know,
it's just stuff that
I like that you brought that up
and
because
stuff.
something that I do want to say, because they like to hit home with this shit when they report it. Okay. They always throw in, like when COVID was first big, it's going to affect the elderly and at risk. It's going to affect the so-and-so, and each one's going to be, and then they throw, and the at risk, about the at risk. Guess what? If you're at risk for everything. Everything. The flu, that shitty cold I had the other day, pneumonia, COVID, it's part of it. I get that, and that it's so new that you have to throw it in there, but then everybody's fucking worried. And yes, people are immunocompromised, but guess what? They've learned to live with that, with all the different various diseases that we have already out in circulation already that we can't cure or control the spread of. And they're still doing their thing. We weren't wearing a bunch of masks at the time. Like, I'm sure they got their flu shots every year. I'm sure they got booster shots when they went to the doctors because they're special cases. These things can turn into something else in a weird way. And you're always going to have a different form of it. Like, that's how the flu kind of works. Like, because it's trying to survive. You know, all the other cells died, but then this one developed a resilience to it and then skipped out and went to someone else. Now it's a mutation, so a new flu variant, if you will. But
just look at people like Aaron Rodgers, Joe Rogan, things of that.
You got to be careful when you throw them out, though, because they have a tendency to be a little...
They took medication that... you know, help them through. They didn't get, and
it worked for them. But
right.
Look at those dudes, though. They're in good shape. But why are we
demonizing them? It shouldn't. You should
because they're not doctors.
But you shouldn't care what they take. If you
okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't give a fuck what they take. Yeah, I don't care what they take.
Just the fact that they're getting shit
on.
But
I don't think that they should promote that as much. If it works for you, then it might. But that might not work for everybody. There need to be trials done.
They were trials. We haven't had trials for these vaccines. We are the trials.
No, we have had trials before the vaccines were released.
These vaccines, yes. We've had trials.
Yes.
Wow, that's really
people were getting paid a bunch of money to go get them done before they released it to the public.
Oh, wow! All in 8 months, they did that.
Before then.
Oh, before
March, when they released, or April, whenever they released that they had a vaccine that was going to make everybody better.
It took them 8 months to make it.
Right, I know. And in like the month before they released it, they were paying people a pretty decent amount to be the guinea pigs for it. I've heard people calling in on the radio saying that they were one of those people. You know, you go and you feel shit. It's like everybody that we knew that did get the shot. You know, you feel a little shitty and then you're, my arm hurts. I'm tired of that one. My arm hurts. You know why? They put a fucking needle in the muscle of your arm. Yeah, that's going to hurt. It's going to be sore. Quit being a bitch. Now, the little bits of sickness that may come from it is your body fighting a weakened version of a virus. I get that whole part of it. But everybody trying to throw in that, it hurt my arm. Like, no fucking kidding.
One of the funniest things that I remember seeing was when people were putting the magnets on their arm and it was sticking.
I didn't get that.
But let me tell you.
That disappeared too.
So here's
Is everyone magnetic? Anyone who got the vaccine, put it where you put a magnet on you. I don't know. I feel like that's some dog shit, dude.
I will say that.
What is that doing?
I don't know.
Everything has magnetism.
I will say a couple things that fascinated me this year also is, with all these news organizations and like CNN, MSNBC, they're all sponsored by Pfizer and Moderna.
Yeah, you mentioned that in hypocrisy. But I like how you only throw out CNN and MSNBC and not throw out Fox News, not throwing out...
because I haven't seen it on Fox News.
Did you look for it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to look for it then.
Okay.
I feel like you're biased.
I'm not.
I feel like you're biased. I feel like they're all full of shit, but you only seem to point out one. I'm not saying that I disagree with you, but I'm just saying
Fox
the
News.
entire fucking circle is dog shit. All of them.
I agree. I'll give you some shit on Fox
I just
News.
feel like you always throw that out, though.
Because they're the worst offenders. I'm not saying
Thank
Fox News is... First of all, I'm aware of Fox News.
After about 5 minutes of having something like that on, I just want to take a knife and shove it in my ear and twist it.
I
feel the same watching CNN and MSNBC. I'm like, gouge my eyes out.
I don't watch Fox News.
Why?
Only for clips or anything. Because they're in like a delusional right. Like delusional.
I can agree with
First
that.
of all, they're pussies. Second of all they do is talk all this shit and everything, but they don't do anything about it. Not just Fox News in general, but even all the MAGA supporters and these Republicans and everything.
The anniversary of January 6th is fast approaching.
So, to me, it's just, Tucker Carlson is probably the only legit one over there, but...
It's a stretch, but... Go ahead.
But he does throw some facts out there, whether you agree with it or not. Because I fact-checked him on some stuff. I just saying.
But it's just, I feel like you can't trust anything, because even when you say
don't.
Right, but because even when you say you fact-check something, it's like, are these fact-check... there are no facts anymore, it feels like.
Yeah, because you could look up and
you
find
only
anything
know
on either side.
It's bizarre where we're at right
so
now.
No one's even saying... So I can't even fully say what I'm telling you
is real. It's real, and even if I look it up and I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like, we can't...
But that's why I don't give out sources, because it's biased.
It could be.
Because you can give me... whatever you believe in, and then I tell you what's your source. Oh, my source is CBS.
Right.
Okay, well, we know where they lean, so are they really talking facts or just, so, and that can be the same argument on the right. Like I said, I just kind of take a step back and look at how the world's operating, how people are acting.
Follow the money.
Things of that nature.
But I agree with you, Pfizer and Moderna, the amount of money that they made off of the government purchasing all these vaccines. And the fact that they promote on their media outlets the pushing of vaccines. And I see how there is a bit of a corruption factor there.
So, yeah, I just... And again, I don't care if you get the vaccine or not. You should do what's best for you. But the fact that you're going to demonize and attack and put them in a separate group, the people who aren't vaccinated, it shouldn't bother you, right? Because
you should be safe.
But hold on.
You should be safe.
If you get vaccinated, why the hell do you care if I do? It should not matter, right? Because it works.
My dad said that when he first got it.
Maybe after your 10th booster, then maybe you'll feel better. Right? It's just logic.
Okay. My dad said
Why should I wear a mask? Why? If you're vaccinated.
Blow another one in your fucking face, dude. I get you. My dad feels like that. My dad's a very conservative guy. At Ryan's high school graduation, afterwards we all went out to eat. That was a question that came up, whether or not we were vaccinated. When I said no, he looked at me and he goes, well, I am, so I feel fine. We're all sitting at the table not wearing the mask. He gets that whole factor of it.
Oh, he didn't push you to the other side of the restaurant with the non-vaccinated people?
No.
He didn't.
He would never.
Tell you to triple mask up and put a glass shield in front of you? No? Oh, okay.
Now, he has suggested that I still get it, but like I said before in the hypocrisy episode, I don't find it necessary for me. I don't find it necessary to get the flu shot every year for those same reasons, that point that you brought up. And that's where I feel like we are going with the COVID thing. We need to cool the fuck out, because look at what you're doing to him. Cool the fuck out and understand that this is now something that's going to continue to transmit and mutate and become a little different. This Omicron is apparently more mild. It's not as, bad. And maybe it's getting weaker over time because of herd immunity and shots. And who knows what it is. And hopefully we'll start to see the point where we're just becoming, okay, now we're with it. And now it's just a thing of, and then we can throw it all out. Because if you look at the flu death number, a lot of people did this when it first came out, the amount of people that die annually from the flu, and we weren't wearing masks before them and pushing the flu shots and everything like that. Now I get the freak out about how this was new and we didn't understand it. Now that we're seeing a little bit more and understanding a little bit more, I think maybe you just kind of let your foot off the gas for a moment, get off your high horse for a second, and just fucking understand that this is something we got to live with. Not everybody's at risk. Not everybody's whatever. And like I said before, if you're at risk 24/7, COVID existing or not.
And not just that, but tomorrow is not guaranteed for anybody.
That list shows that.
So, yeah, I'm not letting, COVID or any disease, whatever happens. But I haven't seen enough proof for me to get it. But I don't hate anybody who gets it. That's your choice.
The hatred is from, like I said, if we were to sit down at that hockey game and the people not wearing masks in our family start bitching at the people that are, being like, quit being a fucking bitch, blah, 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 blah. Instead, we have respect for it. And at the same time, those that were wearing masks had respect for us to not talk shit either.
Right.
And that's how I feel.
But as a society,
and I get it. That's our
we're
family,
not like that.
Right? As a society, we're not like that. We want to police. Remember when we had the arrows in stores? Everybody felt like they were a fucking traffic cop. Like, you're going the wrong way. Shut the fuck up.
I never followed them.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm too fat for that. I can't.
I followed them because I didn't want anyone yelling at me.
I'm not walking around. I don't care. But just a couple headlines that recently happened. That I just want to raise awareness. Alex Jones, I'm not...
With his wife?
I don't know about
She got arrested on domestic violence charges, I read. No, we got to look into that more. Dude, that just popped into my head when you said Alex Jones.
That's a bad bitch.
Yes.
That's a bad bitch. No,
I wonder what was going on in their house that night.
He made a comment...
The water's making my wife crazy!
He made a comment that just had me thinking. He goes... Donald Trump, I voted for him, whatever. He was the one that, when he does his rallies, he still takes credit for, Operation Warp Speed, and I got the vaccines out in 8 months or whatever, okay? So Alex Jones goes, he's either very ignorant or he's an evil man. And
what about both?
To me, the whole situation's odd. It just is, just from how quick we're releasing it, and apparently that not just one shot, you need two, and
his
boosters.
entire fan base.
It's working.
Yeah, his entire fan base is pretty much anti-COVID vaccine, and he's wanting to take credit for how fast they got it up and running.
He gets booed, and he's still... And again, I'm like, we try to have standards for stuff, but for this, because we're too scared and, it's too politicized, we just accept that no one cares that it came out super quick. No one cares about that.
I remember, you said 8 months.
8 months. So it just had me thinking either Trump knew and just said fuck it anyway, which
It sounds very Don of him
or
to do
he
that.
was, or they he got played because remember he kept the great Dr. Fauci the entire time.
Yeah, he sure did. That was his boy.
And let me just bring some points up about Dr. Fauci, okay? Just in case if no one knows who he is, he's running the this whole COVID vaccine operations, especially Pfizer. You can catch him on CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, pretty much any big time news or organization except for Fox. But he's on the camera a lot.
And now he's not on Fox because Don ain't there.
But let me tell you this. He last time I checked, he hasn't treated a single COVID patient. So not that means anything. He did a fantastic job with the whole SARS pandemic when that came out. And when I mean he did a great job, I mean a horrible job. You can easily research this. And he started his career back in the 80s with the whole big AIDS epidemic. Not a good track record, but for whatever reason, whatever he says, we just shake our head. Okay, we don't question it. We're just like, yeah, whatever. I'm Fauci'd out. I'm Trumped out. And I said, why my hypocrisy video?
They took the jam out of your donut, man.
I'm just still baffled with how people just this year were just so compliant. They didn't question anything. They just took everything at face value. And we're going back in time where we're putting people in groups, segregating them, beating people up. And like I said, if you believe the vaccines work and you're protected, it shouldn't matter who else gets vaccinated, right? It shouldn't. But deep down they're not. Because now they come out and say you just have a better survival rate now. It doesn't fully protect you.
I think the verbiage kind of needs to change.
So every time it's something different. Yeah. So I just want to, it's just a shame.
Well, hopefully this year we'll see some turning point. I'm saying hopefully. I'm trying to be optimistic.
I can't.
It's not a New Year's resolution.
That's why I didn't say Happy New Year, because there's nothing to be happy about. Let me tell you this. Let me. This just happened recently too. I just have to tell you. You know AOC, right? The great AOC, right?
Vacationing in Miami.
She criticized Trump for being fat, overweight. Okay, she's made statements about white privilege, and she hates white people and all that great stuff. Which is fine, whatever. Again, I like the hypocrisy here. That when she was down here in Florida, not in her district in New York where it's lockdowns and rundowns, she decided to come to the...
They're hitting record case numbers.
Right, but she decided to come to New York where they continuously... Florida, where everybody who's a blue state criticizes Florida for how reckless we are.
I'm pretty sure she coined the Death Santis, I should say.
Yeah, but she decided to come down to Florida. Okay, hey, great, cool. She was at like a little coffee place, whatever.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, no mask, but she was with somebody. She's got a boyfriend. Good.
Was that her boyfriend?
Yeah. Isn't that weird, huh?
I didn't know that's what it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy. For anybody who hasn't seen the picture, he is a chubbier man. I can say that because I'm a fat ass myself. He's a ginger. Not that matters, but...
Yeah, people thought he was Prince Harry for a second.
It's just a coincidence of someone who, I don't know, gets men about their weight and how much she just hates white people and white privilege, that she decided that she's going to date that type of person. So I just find it odd. She wasn't wearing a mask, by the way, so it shows her how much she really is concerned about COVID, Because we're just
enjoying the great state of Florida.
Everybody is dying here in Florida. We're just piled up.
There was something further about that, too, because apparently Ron DeSantis' Twitter team tweeted at her when those photos broke. to basically say, welcome here, like, hoping you're enjoying the freedoms offered here in Florida. And, it was kind of a shot. And then she went ahead to fire back and say that, since Ron DeSantis has been, weirdly missing for the last 2 weeks, maybe I can come in and help with some of your local activity. Right. She took a shot back.
Right.
And then they sent her the news story. Ron DeSantis has been with his cancer-ridden wife for the last 2 weeks. And it's like, girl.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
Nope. No, it's not.
But that's what I mean.
Happened.
That's what happens when you're a 28-year-old loudmouth or however short. I get it.
She's our age. When you don't do your research.
Right, and you just get
don't do your research
off,
and you're just talking out of your ass.
That's rough to come back from anybody. Awkward turtle.
So yeah, it's.
Well, we'll see how it goes this year. This is the beginning, and there's more to come. There's plenty more people to die. There's plenty more shitty games to come out. There's still football to play, and there's gonna be more times that we let it eat.
So real quick, I want to just get promote a couple people real quick that if you guys if any people who like fishing or want to know great fishing areas in Florida, please check out my my man Dan the Fishman, all in one word.
Dan Steves.
He is on YouTube. He catches all sorts of fish. He knows the best spots around here, especially in Florida. So if any of you are really into that, please check him out. That is Dan the Fishman, all in one word. Another person, if you like some of the views or things that I say, please check out Salty Cracker.
Is that your offshoot channel?
No.
Oh, it's not him. Okay.
He
Salty Cracker.
Yeah, he used to be
just a mad white guy then.
He used to be a teacher. He spews the same stuff that I do. The only difference is while he's talking, he'll actually have the actual website up as not just
so you can
reference,
go along.
So you can actually go through where he's getting the information.
Okay.
Which, if you just need more clarification, that's just not my
extra detail.
Right. So, and he does a lot of videos and everything, and he does he doesn't talk shit. So that is Salty Cracker and Dan the Fishman. If check those guys out.
Absolutely.
And listen, we had a great 2021. We started off a little late, but we ended off in a good note. So 2022 is hopefully, as long as the economy doesn't collapse and the world ends, hopefully this year will be a great year for us. We have a ton of ideas and stuff.
I'm gonna take your side. It's gonna be trash. This year's gonna fucking suck.
We're gonna have a ton of content for you guys coming up.
More stunts.
Right. So if you guys can please just share, spread the word, subscribe,
spread the seed,
hit the notification bell on the bottom. We will try to at least have 2 episodes a week. We are trying.
I would say one's more likely.
Listen, we are trying to do 2 with work schedule permitted, but we do try for you guys. We really appreciate everybody who has already subscribed and follow us. We are also on Instagram at just Let It Eat, right?
It's an acronym, so it's Lie Podcast. Lie.podcast at lie.podcast.
Lie.pod.
Yeah, so I call the fans liars.
So is there any periods in between the L-I-E? Okay. I don't have social media. I don't run it. He does. So I'm sorry, guys. It's not that I don't care. I just can't. I can barely get this streaming thing up, let alone run an Instagram page. That's just, not my thing. So yeah, and we would also leave on the comments of things that you were excited for this past year, or even things that you were a little upset about. We like to hear it. And any future topics you think you guys can come up with, we'd like to hear your opinions, your views.
Fuck your opinions.
Yeah, fuck your opinions. But, maybe some ideas. We talk about pretty much everything around here, so.
You want to blow the last one?
I'm not doing it.
You don't want a redemption?
I don't.
You can do it.
I can't. I can't do it. You've been doing so well.
You know what?
You've been doing so well, please.
Here's to 2022. Here's to you and you.
See, you're a pro. I couldn't do that.
That's how I get tampons out.
All right, guys, everybody, you'll have a great night. Let's all hope we have a great 2022.